Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, well, actually the last couple of months, maybe even longer, maybe even the last couple of years, unequivocally that it is time to impeach Joe Biden. No more playing games, no more little pathetic kids glove GOP response. Do the damn thing. Just yesterday I released a video that started off with the acknowledgement that Republicans in the House still haven't officially committed to impeachment. And less than 24 hours later after I recorded that video, we are finally here. Joe Biden is going to be impeached. We have official confirmation from the leader of House Republicans, Speaker McCarthy himself. Joe Biden will face a trial. People will be called to testify publicly. Make a whole damn spectacle out of the thing. Enough talk, it's time for action. It's time to play the same game as the Democrats do, except with actual frickin' substance. But before we continue to cover this clown world spectacle, the inevitable demise of Joe Biden, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor. Folks, you've seen the headlines. Not only is a recession coming, but major banks are on the verge of total collapse. We're facing real rough economic times, and during turbulent economic times, you must make sure to protect yourself by protecting your hard-earned savings. And that's where today's sponsor, American Hartford Gold, comes into play. Historically, one of the best and safest options is pulling out of the bogus fake money fiat currency system and holding actual real assets of value, in this case, real physical gold and silver. And the experts from American Hartford Gold are simply a phone call away, willing and ready to have physical gold and silver delivered straight to your doorstep or delivered directly into your 401k. American Hartford Gold also happens to be one of the top-rated gold investment firms in the entire country, with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And it doesn't end there, they're also currently running an incredible promotion where you can get up to $5,000 in free silver on qualifying orders. The question is, what are you waiting for? It's time to protect yourself by protecting your hard-earned cash. And it's as simple as it gets, folks. All you gotta do is call 844-440-1005 or text Hivemind one word to 65532. Protect yourself, protect your future. Give American Hartford Gold a call. And now back to the video. All right, folks, so here's the confirmation. Take a look.
That they bribed the Bidens, okay? This was given to the FBI. When Bill Barr finally found out about it, he sent it to his office in Philadelphia. They actually said that this was very credible. The FBI kept this from the IRS individuals for them ever to see it. So not only do they claim that they were bribed, we now find information that 16 out of 17 payments from Romania were provided to the Biden shell companies while he was vice president. When President Biden was running for office, he told the American public that he's never talked about business. He said his family has never received a dollar from China, which we now proved is not true. We now have some of the most credible whistleblowers. These 10-year IRS agents who have come forward said that the Biden family has been treated differently, that what Weiss has told us is different than what Garland and Weiss has told the public. And you're sitting here today where now you have found millions of foreign money, just what the 1023 alleges they did to Biden's family. Now we found that it has funneled through shell companies. If you're sitting in our position today, we would know none of this if Republicans had not taken the majority. We've only followed where the information has taken us. But Hannity, this is rising to the level of impeachment inquiry, which provides Congress the strongest power to get the rest of the knowledge and information needed. Because this president has also used something we have not seen since Richard Nixon.
I've been waiting for Speaker McCarthy to grow a pair and to do the right thing, and here we are. And honestly, I don't think it goes far enough. Impeach the whole lot of them. I think Lauren Boebert got it right.
But what my hope is that the speaker gives the green light to Chairman Jim Jordan to start this inquiry in the Judiciary Committee now. We don't need to wait for more evidence. We have the evidence. We see $17.3 million from the IRS whistleblower that was funneled through shell companies. We see the bribery that's laid out between Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and Burisma and the FD 1023s that were hidden for years. So we do not need to gather more information before an inquiry is started. It needs to start immediately. And Benny, I promise you, if anyone drags their feet on this, we're going straight back to the floor for a straight up and down vote on impeachment for Joe Biden.
That was Lauren Boebert speaking of Benny Johnson, and she hits the nail on the head as per usual. The most important statement: we have the evidence. There's enough. I mean, I've said it a million times. We've made these kinds of videos a million times before. I don't want to keep rehashing the same talking points, but there's enough. There's enough of every type of evidence that you could gather in a case like this to justify launching the impeachment. Is it going to be successful? Will they be able to prove something specific beyond the shadow of a doubt? Well, prove it enough to the extent that Democrats would then be forced in the Senate to vote against their own president? Chances are probably not. It would have to be the smoking gun of the century to get the Democrats on board, to get them to actually vote to impeach Joe Biden in the Senate, so that's probably not going to happen. But in terms of justifying the investigation, absolutely. Justifying the impeachment, justifying a trial, absolutely. If the Democrats were able to do it over a bogus phone call transcript between Volodymyr Zelensky and Trump back in 2019, I believe, if they were able to misrepresent the evidence and then suggest something that happened when it didn't actually happen, if they were justified in their impeachment, then this impeachment is certainly justified, because Joe Biden is actually guilty of what they pretended Donald Trump was guilty of. And the crazy part is that we're not even done peeling all the layers of this onion. James Comer recently said this on Hannity's show.
Well, we've got already proven over $10 million, and we're sitting on a lot more bank records. We're going to bring people in now to try to explain where this money came from. All roads point to Joe Biden. I think any reasonable American would see that. But for this mainstream media, Sean, we have to have a whole lot more evidence than Adam Schiff or Jamie Raskin did when they were going after Trump. But we're going to provide the evidence, and I think we're making progress every day.
All roads point to Joe Biden, they certainly do, and they're sitting on a whole lot more bank records. You know, an important question that Speaker McCarthy mentioned earlier was, why is it that the Biden criminal racket seemed to only do business with corrupt third world nations and foreign adversaries like China and Russia? Well, the answer to that is very obvious. Our allies don't need to buy access to the government. They have it inherently. If you're part of the G7 or if you're part of the democratic world, you can negotiate, you could ask for aid, you can easily conduct business in an amicable fashion with the United States. But if you're a pariah, if you're a U.S. adversary, well, then you need access, you need corruption, you need lobbyists. You need people like the Bidens who will go and push for policy that benefits you, or who will mobilize American taxpayer dollars in a way that benefits your nation. I mean, we saw that directly with Ukraine. That's exactly what the issue was. Protect my son at Burisma, and then we'll funnel billions of dollars into Ukraine. And we'll also inject a ton of cash in the energy sector in Eastern Europe, and clearly we know that the kickbacks happen. There's multiple people who have testified to that effect. There's the FD 1023, which literally outlines it, and James Comer in the clip that I just played says that they're sitting on even more bank records. The whole web of LLCs, shell companies, is being exposed. So far, I think we're at a running total of anywhere around 30 million. I think the IRS agent that testified suggested 17 million, but I think James Comer has a better idea of the bigger picture, and what he's suggesting is that it doesn't end there. 17 million, 30 million, mere pennies. This could have been a $100+ million influence peddling racket criminal organization. There's still more to uncover. There's still more bank transactions, more bank records, more bank accounts, more companies. And really, I think possibly the final nail in the coffin here is going to be Hunter Biden's business associates. Devin Archer is likely, we don't know 100%, but the reports are that he's likely to testify, that he's likely to basically spill the beans. And considering the legal trouble that he's facing, he's probably in a position right now where he's, let's just say, willing to put the spotlight on somebody else rather than himself. You know, this whole Biden criminal enterprise is built on a web of trust between criminals and a web of lies and deceit, hiding the truth as to what's going on. If one person at the top like Devin Archer spills the beans, the dominoes will fall. The simple fact is everything surrounding the Bidens stinks to the frickin' high heavens. All of it. A family in government making a very modest salary, especially with the amount of children that Joe Biden has, and just how big the family is, cannot possibly attain the level of wealth that they have attained without a legitimate family business. They don't have a family business. None of it makes sense. And then when you see reports like this, the most recent report, Hunter Biden sold his art to a donor friend who Joe Biden appointed. Major Democratic donor and Biden-appointed commissioner Elizabeth Hirsch Naftali has been revealed as a buyer of Hunter Biden's art, revealing potentially another pay-to-play scheme. It really starts to build on this concept that none of it makes sense. everything is fishy. There is tons and tons and tons of circumstantial evidence, and then there's actually hard evidence and testimony and actual credible documents, emails, recorded phone calls, yada, yada, yada. Joe Biden's corrupt. There's no more question. I don't care what anybody says. Very simply, the standard must be that a criminal cannot and should not be the sitting president of the United States. Regardless of where this impeachment actually ends, regardless of what the result is, to not impeach Joe Biden would be an absolute travesty at this point. Here's the last thing I'll say. It's about damn time. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.